Hello and welcome to Anime Territory, episode 25. Doing something a little bit different this week. We are going to be talking about the Crunchyroll Award nominations before the award winners are announced. I am your host this week, Jonathan Ruhal. As always, I've got my co-host Benjamin Monkey Baseball Shabbing, and
Hello.
we are joined this week by a friend we've talked about on this show but has never been on this show. Joe, you may know him from Digimon. He is the Digi-tamer that bonded with Gomamon. Joe from Digimon, how are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
All right. As customary, when we have a guest, we're going to start the episode out by just talking about what your top 10 anime are. We will try to go quicker than normal instead of like the 40 minutes we spent on the Helsing episode with Brock that we had to move to the back of the episode because I felt guilty about putting it at the front of the episode. So I've seen this list. We've talked about it a little bit in front of Ben. Ben, do you have any guesses for what's on this list?
I have no clue.
You have no clue?
No, I don't know Joe's taste.
Okay. Well, Joe, then I guess it's just surprises ahead for Ben. So let's start on your list.
Okay, well, starting with number 10, I actually have an anime from this year, which is the 86th. But I do say pending the future of it, but based on like season one, I would have to say that it's right at the borderline of 10. Going from there, some nostalgic, just things that I think are generally really good. With the Fate series, which is kind of a cop out because I didn't just pick one. I just said a series as a whole. 8 Naruto, 7 Demon Slayer, 6 Digimon, 5 Bakuno. Am I saying that right?
Bakano.
Bakuno? Yeah.
Ooh,
That was actually something you both recommended to me, and so it's been one of my favorite anime since. Number 4, I have Jujutsu Kaisa. 3 is Erased. 2 is Steins Gate, and then number 1, I usually just love whatever anime I'm binging at the time, so I put the cop out of my favorite anime is just what I'm watching at the moment.
Okay. So it's interesting. Some of the things on your list I wanted to pop out real quick. I just finished watching. Both of us just finished watching season one of 86 because like part one ended at like episode 11, so that's where we cut off at.
Hmm.
Um, I thought it was kind of boring, if I'm being honest. Not to trash on your taste too much, but I was also like a little distracted. We watched the first three episodes like 6 months ago as a like okay, we're watching like six currently airing shows, and one of them is 86. We watched the first three episodes of, and it was like okay, this is really good. It makes me feel white guilt, which is fine. Uh, it's a little heavy-handed, and then when we started watching it again this week, we're like, I don't want to watch the first three episodes again. We're just gonna start at episode 4. So like the first three episodes are a little foggy, and then we watched the dub for the rest of it. So I got distracted, and it was like they're just talking, right? So okay, wait, what's this about human brains? What are they doing with them? All right, whatever. Continue forward. Um, I mean, it was competent, but I don't know. I was just a little bored by it. Do you have anything to say in your defense?
uh, I just liked the take of it. It was a lot more probably like political, like and slow, but I enjoyed it. I felt like it was like well written. Like I liked the dialogue and it made me like the characters because you got to like meet a lot of them. So I don't know. I just thought it was a nice taste. As you can tell, a lot of my anime choices are rather fantasy or like shonen kind of far out there. So every once in a while, I just get an anime that I feel like is kind of the opposite of that. And so I think 86th was just like a nice change of pace for me. So I enjoyed it.
Okay. I mean, again, I don't. It may be if I had to watch the sub and I was in a better mood watching it because it was just a matter of like, I got to get this show down this week because I wanted to get one more show finished. Like, even before you said that you watched 86, it was on our plan to finish watching that show because we liked it when we watched the first three episodes. And it's just like, I just got to get it finished. and I mentioned earlier I had also watched like Ranking of Kings. I'd recently watched like I hadn't watched any of that until last week, and then I binged it, and I'm like, man, I just want to watch more of this. 86 is going to be such a different vibe than this. But I really like the episode 10 where it's like they're just kind of getting to spoilers. They're just kind of like out in the wilderness and fishing, and you know there's not much going on. And then the last half of it is like the robot companion guy's life flashing before his
Got
eyes.
his name already?
It was Fido.
It was Fido.
I was more just saying it for people that don't know what I mean when I say Fido, because you'll think, oh, that's like a dog, but no, it was like a little robot.
It is like the dog.
Yeah, well, they treat it like a dog, but it's like, no, it's a little robot guy, big robot guy, I should say. It's a little big robot guy.
Yeah, and I think that's part of the reason also. I like that it like showed the different perspectives. It's not all just in like one like view the whole time. So I enjoyed that they would even show sometimes the same thing kind of happening but from different perspectives. So I don't know. I don't think
was they did that more
like
in the first
take.
3 episodes, I thought, than they did. Like there was some jarring moments where it's like, wait, what's going on? Didn't this already happen? And it's like, oh, okay, I'm seeing it from her perspective now instead of theirs. And Ben, you were going to say something before I started talking.
I just feel like a lot of shows, they would give you less of, say, the 86's perspective and kind of more focus on the main character's girl's name. I forgot her name already. Lena? I just feel like you could have had it to where you focused on her more and it probably wouldn't be as good. So I do like that they kind of switched perspectives, but for me, I was expecting a little bit more of the war part, just a lot of dialogue, and you kind of just get bored by all the talking. It's all good and fine, it's just a lot. So.
And it's, again, we watch the dub. It's easy to get distracted when people are just talking in the dub. And then...
Oh, I will say, I did like the dub performances. I thought it was a very good dub.
I thought it was competent, but nobody really stood out. I don't know. That was...
I
didn't think anything was excellent. I thought it was just okay.
I thought the two main 86 guys were good.
Okay. I can concede that point. Joe, did you watch the sub for 86?
I did. I watched subbed. I didn't watch the dub.
Okay. And are you like caught up to date? Because I know part 2 is like currently airing.
Yeah, I'm all caught up to date.
Okay. So we might have to give it more of a shot later. That I felt okay about talking about that one. I know we always spend so much time on these top 10s, but that's a currently airing show, and that's made it in some of the nominations, so it's topical. So
I just gotta ask. You said the whole Fate series. You have to have a favorite one, though, right?
Okay, yeah, definitely. But I'm just like a Fate fanboy, so.
Well, I mean, I gotta know which one it is, though.
So I would have to say like Blade Works, but that's just because I'm a simp for Ren.
Okay.
So
there's 2 ways you could have gone. You could have said Ren or Shiro.
You could have said.
Yeah, well, I did that too.
No, you messed up twice. You could have got either Ren or Sakura, and you chose wrong. Or you could have done Unlimited Blade Works or Fate Zero, and you chose wrong.
No, I'm with you. Ren dominancy all the way. She's got an S rank gold or absolute territory, which is the namesake of our podcast.
That is true.
Do you know what absolute territory is, Joe?
I want to say yes, but then I might not be able to answer the question.
Okay, I want to know what you think it is, and I won't. No judgment if you get it wrong.
Okay.
It's also called Zettai Ryoki in Japanese.
Okay, that makes me know not what I'm talking about, so I don't know. Okay. What is it?
Absolute territory, or Zettai Ryoki, refers to the area of bare skin in the gap between over-knee socks and a miniskirt.
I did not know that.
So there's like a golden ratio that I'm trying to pull up right now. And there's like different rankings. And the only difference between an A-class ranking and an S-class ranking is that an S-class also has is a tsundere and has twin tails. So nothing to do with that area. But let's see.
That's awesome.
It can also, it doesn't have to be a skirt. It could be like hot pants, shorts, but that's up for contention. I count it, but some people don't. So let's see. I'm trying to find what and that itself gets its name from Neon Genesis Evangelion. So it's like a double reference. When we call ourselves anime territory, it's a reference to absolute territory. And it's just it's a name, it fits. It's the territory we talk about anime. So
yeah, I do like that. I didn't know the double meaning, so I like learning that.
Let's see. I can't find the ratio very quickly, but it's, I don't know. I've like enigmatically put it on Facebook before too, and I'm just like, yes, here it is. Here's the ratio. But I like that you put Digimon on there. I'm like, I feel like I like Digimon, but I'm not gonna put it in my top 10 anime.
It's just so nostalgic. Like same reason with Naruto. It's just like one of those things. Like I still play like Digimon the card game. I think I've bought every single Digimon game that's ever existed, just because like the series to me. So again, it's not so much like do I think the anime is like top tier. It's as much as like it just has a special place in my heart that it's just like a favorite. I'm not saying these are the best by far. They're not the best anime.
No, I know you put that little disclaimer on there. It's just
right.
Yeah, I like you put Digimon on it.
Now
Digimon's cool.
Did the love of Digimon? It feels like a coincidence because we didn't really talk about Digimon until I brought up the fact that you looked like Joe from Digimon. So
the crazy thing is I've actually loved Digimon all the time, but no one ever knew that much about Digimon. So I didn't talk about it that much. But then you started saying that, so it kind of opened the floodgates of me being able to talk about Digimon more.
I think the first time sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say in my other friend circles, they always make fun of me because they're like, Joseph always wished Digimon was what Pokemon became. Because that was like true as a kid. Like people would come to school with their Pokemon and I'd come to school with my Digimon and then be like, no, Digimon's better. Let's talk about this. And I was just rejected from the cool kids.
My current argument in favor of Digimon is that unlike Pokemon, Digimon are real. Because in the canon of the Digimon story, they're just digital monsters.
Mm-hmm.
They're data. And in the canon of our real world, Digimon are digital monsters.
Yes.
So they haven't crossed over into the real world yet, but they're out there. They're ready. They're gonna be coming. So they're real. Pokemon will never be real, but Digimon are. They may not take the same form as like an Agumon or Greymon, but you would think if digital creatures were gonna breach into our world, they would have the foresight to take forms familiar to us, so that we would welcome them. That's enough about my Digimon rant, I guess. I've got a copy of Digimon Digimon World for PlayStation 1. I might have to somehow figure out how to get that plugged into my Elgato so I can stream that. But the Elgato doesn't have PS2 ports, so I gotta convert it to HDMI somehow. What else is on the list that was substantial? I've seen things about Jujutsu Kaisen, but I just kind of, it's like, okay, it's the new shonen. I don't really care.
It is. It just has some like hype battles. It's just well done. I feel like it's like the well done shonen of the year, and I was really impressed by it. So
yeah, so I feel like the choreography from everything I've seen is like, oh yeah, they didn't trim any corners with it, so it's the type of story you're expecting, but everything is beautiful and probably bloody too, from what I've seen. But the animation will be fluid and all that. I need to like pull up the picture you sent of your list because I'm forgetting some of the other stuff.
the other ones, Erased and Steins Gate, are like the 2 and 3 spots.
I mean, Steins Gate's great.
Steins Gate is
Erased
your
really good.
favorite, Ben. You have it listed as your favorite. I have it listed as my number 3 because I like Gurren Lagann and Haruhi a little bit better. But the caveat that I think Steins Gate is a perfect anime and is a better anime than the two I have above it on my list. It just goes to personal preference at that point. Let's see.
So
And then
Erased
Erased is
dead.
good. I just wish, like, I think when we were watching it as that was coming out week to week and talking about it, and you were like,
Yeah.
it's this guy, and I'm like, no, it's too obvious. He's gonna be a red herring, and then you were right, and I'm like, also I think
So
there need to be more
you hate
pizza
that
girl.
anime. You hate that anime because I was right.
No.
The worst
No,
thing about it is that
Joe
right.
was the one who like.
Yeah, I think I was. Yeah, I
Who
said
told
it
me
every
about it.
week.
Oh,
And I
Like,
don't
okay. I thought
hate the
I thought I
anime.
said
I'm
that
just,
too.
I don't know what you said. I just know that Joe and I that was back in
Yeah, we
college,
did.
and Joe and I were
Yeah, we
watching
did.
that as it was coming week out. As it was coming out week by week.
I watched that with you guys. I watched that as it came out.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you don't talk much, Ben. Just, I
You
wonder
might
why
have
I
to say
started a
that,
show where I talk to you.
Wow.
Yeah, Bakano is great. We covered Bakano on this show. It's not
Mhm.
streaming anywhere legally anymore.
No, it's not. I've tried to recommend it to people, and they have such a hard time finding this. They
I
are.
ordered it in from our local library so that we had a legal way of watching it for our show.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
bring me the
I thought
DVDs,
about.
please,
I
Mr.
actually thought
Library
about
Man.
purchasing it or trying to find a way to purchase it because I just enjoy it so much. It just has such a unique vibe to it. I love it. I don't know. Everything about it I like.
What's your thoughts on Russo?
Lad Russo, what are your thoughts?
You're right. I mean, I like him, but I don't think there's hardly any characters in that show that I was like they were not always what I expected, but I don't know, just something about them, the way they did the characters, I like
Yeah.
them. What do you think about Russo?
I love to
He's
hate
great.
him.
I love Russo.
No, I liked him quite a bit. I
That
don't know if he's
bastard
my
is
favorite character.
that bastard's so charming and so terrible.
Yes. No,
He's just like, I'm gonna kill this kid. I'm like, goddamn.
Hey, that's
Yes.
wrong, but I want him to do it.
I would have to say that normally a character like Russo, I would just despise in a show. Like I would just be like, man, I don't like him. But they just do it so well. I don't know, just something about it.
He has 20 charisma. That's what it is.
Yeah. Now that you say it, I guess that's it.
The other ones on your list were Demon Slayer and Naruto, which I watched all of Naruto, not all of Naruto Shippuden. I watched all the filler of Naruto, probably not realizing that it was not going to be important whatsoever. And then I started reading the manga for Naruto Shippuden when like I was getting that itch, but then I fell off towards the end of the manga, and I'm like, I don't need to come back. I basically know what happens from here.
Yeah, I actually have to say that, like, actually before Shippuden, just like base Naruto, and that's mostly just because of like the nostalgia of childhood too. Me and my brother would just watch that, and I just remember us getting so hyped to watch Naruto and the fights, and because we were used to like Dragon Ball Z fights, which was just a lot of screaming and punching.
Yeah.
But like in Naruto, there was strategy, and definitely in the first bit, and so that was just the coolest thing to like see these guys outwitting each other on the battlefield, using these cool techniques that we had like somewhat knowledge of, and so yeah, that's what really just brought it home. So just some of the fondest memories I have of anime have to do with that show, so it has to go up on my favorites.
When I was a senior in high school, I was there was a time in my life where I was texting this girl a lot. Nothing ever came of it. But I was texting this girl a lot, and we were watching Toonami separately one Saturday night, and Naruto was on, and it was like one of the first episodes that Haku shows up, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's a guy. She's like, no, it's not. Like, they just said it. That's a guy. I do not know what to tell you. That is a dude. They straight up say it.
That was a
you're,
confused me.
you're,
My brother
you're
would
joshing
argue.
me. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's a dude. I don't know what to tell you.
That was actually like my brother's favorite character. He's like, it's a guy, and I'm like, I don't know, Nick. That was his favorite character. Him and Zabuza, he thought was the coolest pairing.
Zabuza is cool. I mean, they're both cool. I'm just That's like my one recent story with Naruto because I kind of like I fell off of it when I was like 16 or something. So, um, 16, 17, right around that time, I started falling off of it because I don't know. I just moving on in life. I guess we have to leave our Naruto's behind.
Speaking of moving on,
Demon Slayer is good.
Great.
That's what I'm gonna say. The movie was good too, but did it deserve to be the number one highest grossing movie in Japan of all time? No. That's my
would agree.
take. It's a really cool scene, but I won't spoil any Demon Slayer stuff. So let's talk about what animes we've watched that came out this year. So we all watched 86, part 1.
Mm-hmm.
Joe, what else have you watched this year?
Jujutsu Kaisen, and I've watched a couple others, like Attack on Titan I'm caught up on. Dr. Stone had like a new season. I think like My Hero might have had some new stuff. So
Yep.
anything that had previous stuff I've definitely like kept up to date. There was this other anime I watched that was really like slice of lifey. I forget the name of it, but like the girl doesn't talk and she's like has like social anxiety. I watched that one. What is that?
Komi-san can't understand or can't speak or something like that.
Yeah,
Can't
I
communicate.
don't know. Somehow I
Komi
caught
can't
myself.
communicate. That's the name of the show.
Somehow I caught myself watching that anime. So
Hey, I watched
I
that
don't-
anime in preparation
I
for
don't
this.
know.
It's good stuff.
I
don't know
watched
if
the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, because Ben just kind of came in while I was finishing. I watched that all like one afternoon after work.
Yeah, I think that's what happened to me. I just caught. I was like, "This is interesting," and I don't know. I just found myself watching it. So,
Yeah.
those are the ones that stick out to me. I'm sure there's more, but that's probably the major ones.
Well, I'll go through my list in a moment here because I wrote down even stuff that I only watched like 1 or 3 episodes of.
Mhm.
Johnny,
Shags.
I'm just going to say here, don't say all 30. Just give us bullet points. Give
All
us the good
right.
ones.
I won't do the ones that I didn't finish. How's that sound?
Just do the one. Just do what you want. Just
Ben, what did you watch?
we don't need a list of 30.
What did you watch?
Okay, what I watched. Ones that we haven't talked or we'll talk about. Obviously, I watched Burning Kabaddi.
Yep.
I watched Vivi Fluorite Ice Song, and Kajeki Shoujo were kind of the main non-anime that we haven't discussed yet that I watched.
Yeah, because I mean, we talked about Nagatoro and Sonny Boy and Odd Taxi already on this show. Like we have episodes about them and Remake Our Life. Yeah, we have episodes about those shows. So
yeah, I also watched like Ranking of Kings, but we'll talk about that later too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. We watched Ranking of Kings like this past week in preparation, and it's good stuff. So going quickly through mine, I watched Suppose a Kid from the Last Dungeon Boonies moved to the starter town, whatever the hell that name of that show is. ReZero Season 2, Part 2, Quintessential Quintuplets Season 2, Horimiya, which I think might have a few nominations.
A couple.
Mushoku Tensei, which I think has a few nominations. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 2, My Hero Season 5, the Shaman King reboot, SSSS Dynazenon. I didn't finish that one, but I got like 7 or 8 episodes in, and I want to finish it. Burning Kabaddi, obvious. Odd Taxi, obvious. 86, talked about already. Don't Tease Me, Miss Nagatoro, which we talked about on the show. Osamake, the rom-com where the childhood friend won't lose, something along those lines. Welcome to Demon School, I didn't finish that. Remake Our Life, yada yada. Sonny Boy, we already talked about that. Komi Can't Communicate. My Senpai is Annoying. Ranking of Kings. And Star Wars Visions is technically an anime that came out this year.
I forgot about Star Wars Visions.
So, we watched that as well. Joe, did any of those jog your brain? You watch anything like that on your 2021?
Yeah, I think I've watched a handful of some of them. I watched Star Wars Visions, definitely, and a couple of others I've definitely watched. Some of them I'm not very proud of, so I'll just say, yeah, I watched a couple of those.
I don't know
I don't
which
want
one
my
of
wife
those you
coming.
wouldn't be proud of.
I don't
Some of
want
them
my
are
wife
not
to.
good. I didn't really like the supposed kid from the last Dungeon Town. It was fine. It's just very generic.
That's essentially if like a kid from the 8th gym town went to gym
Yes,
the
Ben.
first gym.
Yes, that's how JRPGs like Pokemon work. It's not just a Pokemon thing. Okay, but
Joe, question. Do you know what Kabaddi is?
No.
All right.
What is Kabani?
It's like a combination of tag and wrestling.
Okay.
We did a whole episode about it. You should
we did a
watch
half
that show.
episode about it.
I feel like I'm gonna go back and watch about happier episodes after what you guys have mentioned. It sounds like
you
I've
don't have
missed
to
some
do that.
gold.
Burning Kabaddi isn't a great show, but we just have a special place. Kabaddi is a special place in our hearts, so it was really fun.
I like to describe Kabaddi as tackle tag.
Yeah.
There's two sides, and you send one guy over to the other side, and he has to tackle as many people as he can, or tackle.
No, he's got to tag.
as many people as he can, and get back to the other side before either like a time limit. It's technically like as long as you can chant the word Kabaddi in your breath. So if you've got a really good breath, you can extend your time limit. I think official rules there's a time limit, but
Yeah.
And then the other side, they can either try to dodge you or stop you from getting back over the lines by almost any means necessary. So there's just like people grappling and tackling people to the ground, and it's just like a hype as hell sports anime it was fun to return to every week. So and we watched Kabaddi, like you watched it like twice in college. I watched it once in college because it was on like they were doing like ESPN 8 the Ocho. So it's just like they got a Kabaddi match on TV. It's like, what the hell is this sport? What are they doing? I love it, but what are they doing? It's all right, Joe. You can say you watched. Don't tease me, Miss Nagatoro.
Oh, that was one of them. Oh, that hurts.
Oh, that show's fine.
That show starts out as humiliation fetish and then turns into one of the most wholesome things.
Yeah.
I'm up to date with the manga on that, and it's like so fluff wholesome. I love it. They're not even like teasing each other anymore. They're just like legitimate about things, and it's just like, yeah, they went on a real date and they almost hugged until comedy happened and somebody showed up and stopped it. But it's you don't have to be ashamed of that show. It's rough at the beginning. I will be fair. It is rough at the beginning. But it turns into something nice. So, okay. So that's what we watched this year. Other than, like I said, there's a few things we watched, like a couple episodes of that we dropped, and we've already kind of talked about those on our other episodes where we talked about spring and summer anime. So Ben, I'm gonna let you take over here, and we're gonna go through the awards nominations, each category here.
Okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom just so we end with best anime.
Okay.
So the first category is best film. The nominees were Belle, Demon Slayer the movie, Shirobako the movie, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 Thrice Upon a Time, Josie, the Tiger and the Fish, and Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop. I have not seen any of these movies. So I have no vote in this.
I have seen one of these movies, but I want to give it to a movie I haven't seen. I saw Demon Slayer. We were going to go see Belle in theaters when it was in America, and then I got COVID, so that didn't happen.
Apparently the Blu-ray is coming out in April. So.
Okay, all right. I'm going to have to get on that. Belle is the Mamoru Hosoda, the guy who directed the Digimon movie, Joe. That movie you were in Summer Wars, and Boy and the Beast, and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, and Wolf Children. Great movies. He basically is doing a digital version of Beauty and the Beast called Belle. So I like to say it's the Digimon version of Belle, or of Beauty and the Beast. that was my vibe from the trailers. So, guy does good work. I want to see it. I think I've heard of the Soda Pop one, but I don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything about it. I think I've heard of the Tiger and Fish one or something, whatever that was called. I want to see the Ava movie, but I've been putting it off until our friend Hank and I can like binge watch the movies together and watch all 4 of them. But I mean, like by default, Demon Slayer was the only movie I saw this year that was anime. So, Joe, did you watch any of those movies?
No, actually. I promised my sister who watches Demon Slayer with me I'd watch the movie with her, so I've held off. Bell actually was on my list, and so was Evangelion, but I've actually not hit either of them yet either.
All
I've
right,
not heard of
so-
the other 3 though. I've actually heard of Bell and Evangelion though.
So the winner by default is Demon Slayer.
I
Let's
guess.
go. I'm happy with that.
The box office would agree.
Yeah. I'm a meta slave, so I'm down with mass majority usually.
Okay, so the next category is Best Fantasy. Your nominees are Mushoku Tensei, Season 1. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 2. To Your Eternity, Ranking of Kings, The Case Study of Vanitas, and Wonder Egg Priority.
What was the first nominee?
Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation.
I think when I voted for that because at the time I had not seen Ranking of Kings, and I think I would change my answer. I think I like Ranking of Kings better. But obviously, Best Fantasy, my true pick is Sonny Boy. That's sort of fantasy.
What was yours, Ben?
The only one I've seen is Ranking of Kings, so I'm gonna give it to that. I do want to see Wonder Egg Priority, because I heard that's like really beautiful, but it kind of f's up the ending, so I'm kind of curious on it. But the only one I've seen is Ranking of Kings.
Yeah, I think the only one well, I don't think I've finished any of these, but I think I watched a little bit of The Time I Got Reincarnated Season 2 and The Jobless Reincarnation. And out of those 2, I would definitely give it to Reincarnation as a Slime. I wasn't the biggest fan of The Jobless Reincarnation.
Jobless Reincarnation is like you don't like the main character. Like it's
I don't.
it's so like tired. He does get a little bit better. I watched all of it. He does get a little bit better because he's like, yeah, this is like. Well, first of all, I'm in a fucked up situation, so like I can't be judged too harshly because he's like, when you're an adult in a child's body, it's wrong for you to be attracted to adults, and it's wrong for you to be attracted to children. So, por qué los dos? Why not both? But like when you get past it, like the animation is beautiful in that show, and it does tell a very different story than like I like Slime. Don't get me wrong, but it was, it's fairly generic. Like this is
I
hitting the
agree.
beats.
I'm not
so.
the biggest fan of actually either of them, but if I just had to pick, I think I dislike the main character so much in the Jobless Reincarnation. I was like, I can't like that anime.
I do not blame you. Ben, what was your pick? Did you just had
Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of Kings is like, while being serious, is also just so like cute. Like you should really give Ranking of Kings a listen to. I think I don't know your sisters that well, but I think Paulina would probably like it too. So because it's cute, but it's more serious than that cuteness realizes, and a little bit bloodier than that cuteness realizes too.
You kind of start the show, you're like, oh, this is gonna be really adorable, and then you go like, oh no, this is gonna be a very serious show.
Very serious show with no like. There's like I said this before. There's a clear bad guy, but it's not really like they're just people. They're all gray, and there's lots of people that are like, well, this person, they're gonna be a bad guy, and it's like, well, not really. Like everybody's got an angle on things where they mess up, and sometimes they feel bad about the things that they did, or and there's just like intrigue going on. It's definitely something that's worth checking out, and giving, like, don't judge that book by its cover, because it is a very cute cover, and I think that cuteness is not like a lie. It's not like, oh, this is cute and now dark stuff happens. It's like, oh, this is cute, and this is sort of like, other than being a little bit fantastical, like there's no giant, two-headed snakes in the world, but it's like played fairly serious with, actual people and actual flaws and things. That's all I have to say about fantasy, I guess.
So I think Ranking of Kings wins 2-1.
Yep. Even though I didn't vote for it when I voted on the awards. It's too late.
Okay, so next category, Best Romance. We have Beastars, Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, Komi Can't Communicate, Fruits Basket, the final season, Horimiya, and The Duke of Death and His Maid.
The Duke of Death and His Maid. I could not get over that. It was like Ruby season 1 level animation, but worse.
I'd say season 2.
Okay, but there was no like cool action scenes to like distract from the fact that these are like very obvious 3D models that have trouble interacting with other props. So, gosh, I've already defended Nagatoro. It's good. You just have to get past the humiliation fetish stuff in like the first 3 episodes. Even in the first 3, you get a feel for what the show actually is going to become. So, I think I technically voted for. I don't know if I voted for Fruits Basket here, or if I voted for the main girl of Fruits Basket as the like best girl category coming up. But I haven't seen the final season of Fruits Basket. I've seen some of the original show and some of the remake of the first season. But it's a classic. It's good. I just fell off of it. I didn't deliberately put it down. I just fell off. Oh, and Komi-san Can't Communicate was cute and fun, but it didn't really like go too far into that it didn't scratch that romance itch too much. So it was more comedy than romance, if I had to guess. It was a com-rom instead of a rom-com.
But not a Zom rom-com.
Nope, it's not a zombie romantic comedy. Joe, what are your thoughts? Best romance?
I'll go with the Nagato one, because I do think, like, don't tease me, because I do think it came around. I don't know. I liked it a lot, but I think that's my problem with it, is that I enjoyed it so much.
It's okay to
But
like
That's
stuff.
not a problem, Joe. It's a fun show. You just got to get past the first couple episodes.
It's not like it doesn't deserve an Oscar or an Emmy or anything, but it's okay to like stuff that's a little trashy.
But does it deserve this anime award?
Well, you have to look at its competitors.
I've only seen one of these, so it gets my vote.
It'll get my vote too, because I don't think it's really in any other categories. So I'll give it the vote. So that's a tie. A tie. That's all 3 in 1. So that's
yeah.
Now, like, we're picking our favorites. Are these like counting as predictions too? Like, are we trying to predict?
Yeah, whatever wins is our prediction.
Should we be writing down what we've chosen? Because I haven't been doing that.
I can. Johnny, you don't want to write it down?
I'm pulling up a note on my phone. I'll do that.
Just so that I can focus on.
Yeah, so give me the first category and what we chose again.
Best film was Demon Slayer.
Best film. Demon Slayer. Okay.
Best fantasy was Ranking of Kings.
Best fantasy is Ranking. Okay.
Best romance is Nagatoro.
Okay. We're only 3 deep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, and the next category we're going to do is Best Drama. Your nominees are 86, Kajeki Shoujo, To Your Eternity, Fruits Basket, Odd Taxi, and Wonder Egg Priority.
Okay. Joe, I think I know Ben and I's picks here, but I'm gonna let you weigh in first.
Okay, mine's 86.
Okay. I figured that made your top 10. Of course it is. Shabs, can I guess what your vote's gonna be?
Sure.
Is it gonna be Odd Taxi?
It's a toss up for this one.
Do you like Kajeki Shoujo that much?
I do like Kajeki Shoujo.
Okay.
Hmm.
Wait, what is Kajiki Sojo about?
It's like I guess a slice of life about girls in a like theater school for like the specific like theater troupe, and it's just about their kind of struggles in their first year at this school. It's really good. I like it.
I did not watch it. So I have no opinion.
There's some really good episodes. It's I don't know. Odd Taxi's probably the better show, but I just want to give some props to Kajeki Shoujo.
Do you know anything about Odd Taxi, Joe?
No.
Okay. So Odd Taxi, when you look at it, it's like all these like people are animals. They're like I can't remember what that term is, where it's animals that anthropomorphized animals. So like the main character is a taxi driver who looks like a walrus man. So you're like, okay, all these characters are kind of like cute and they're animals, but the show is a serious crime drama. I think we called it. It's like a Tarantino movie was starring anime animals. So, it's just like a very serious mystery crime drama that like slowly unravels, and it has to do with a yakuza and like a missing girl
Appearance. Yeah.
There's, there's an episode about gacha addiction, basically. I don't know. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's just a very serious, atmospheric show, and just happens to star animal people. And there's a reason that it stars animal people too. That the show will. Well, I said my theory after the first 3 episodes, and my theory was correct. But I don't want to.
If you're looking for a good mystery show, watch Odd Taxi. It's really good.
And there's going to be a movie coming out this year too,
Mm-hmm.
which is good because they left on like they pretty much like wrapped up the mystery on our end, but they kind of left on a like, oh shit, something's about to happen that's not going to be good. That's like it's just like as they were wrapping up the mystery, they're like, and here's the one piece that you don't have that these other characters still don't know. And now there's something's about to happen that these characters are not expecting.
That's all you need to say.
There's also they released podcasts between each episode that I didn't know about till we finished watching the show months after it had finished airing, where it's just like, oh yeah, after each episode there's just like additional content where this one very tertiary side character has like a podcast where he plays recordings of a hidden, he like accidentally tapped into a wiretap that was on like a pin, and it just that pin gets passed around to various characters in the show, and so it just records various conversations of varying intensity. Like one of them is just the main character driving by himself in his taxi humming to himself. They occasionally sing a little song, and just like it's a very chill episode. And when one of them is like, somebody might have murdered somebody. That's Odd Taxi. Odd Taxi gets my vote for sure.
It gets my vote too.
So we're gonna write down our official prediction is Odd Taxi, but if 86 wins, Joe gets to rub it in our face.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Next next category is Best Comedy. We have Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro,
Oh, she
Tomi
does get
Can't Communicate, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, Heaven's Design Team, Life Lessons with Urimichi Onisan, and Odd Taxi.
Odd Taxi falls under the comedy route.
Yeah, so that's my issue. This Odd Taxi isn't a comedy. It has some elements, but I'm not voting it as a comedy.
Is this like when The Martian was nominated for
Yeah,
best
this
comedy?
is exactly when The Martian was nominated for Best Comedy. I'm not giving it to it.
Okay, yeah. So Taxi is probably the best show of those ones listed, but I can't give it to it. So I guess I'll give it to Nagatoro just because of the 3 shows on that list I've watched. That one is the comedy that I've liked the most. So, Joe, what are your thoughts?
I think I like the Silent Girl one for this one.
Comey?
Yeah, Comey.
Ben, what was your official vote?
I thought that was a comical.
I want to sit out on this one. The only one I've seen that's not Odd Taxi is Nagatoro, but I don't want to vote on this one.
Okay. So we'll call this one a toss up. Comey is funny, and it does go more into the funny than the rom. It was more of a straight up comedy than a rom com. So you know what? I'm fine with just giving it to Comey for now. That's our prediction.
Okay.
Is it what I would have voted for? No. Is it my prediction? Sure.
Okay, so your next category is Best Action. Nominees are Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Vivi Flore Eyes Song, Demon Slayer, SSSS Dynazenon, and Wonder Egg Priority. I've only seen one of these shows, so my vote goes to Vivi.
I would probably give it. I haven't seen any of these shows completely, I don't think. So I would probably give it to SSSS Dynazenon. Because the Demon Slayer, that's like a different season of Demon Slayer, right? Because I haven't seen
Mugen Train arc.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything of that. I've only seen the first season and the movie at this point.
Okay.
So, SSSS Dynazenon is a follow-up to SSSS Gridman, sort of like a spiritual one, and it may exist in the same universe. But they've got giant robots they've got like toys that turn into giant transformers that they can combine, and they have to fight monsters that people are summoning. They have to fight kaiju.
Yeah, I think I've heard about that, but I've not watched it. I've heard about this anime though.
SSSS Gridman, which I have seen all of, is I really liked. There was sort of like a love triangle too, and it was like surreal. There was some moments where you're just like, okay, they're fighting a monster this week, and then there was some moments where it's like, you know, why is the whole outside of this town surrounded by fog all the time, and what exactly is going on with this girl that is summoning up, you know, kaiju, and it's a and I think one of the girl's thighs became a meme. It's like, oh yes, Rika's thighs. So I would definitely recommend Gridman, but I'm gonna vote Dynazenon. I guess.
Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it was the best done action.
That's what's gonna win too. So
yeah, I think that's what's gonna win.
Yeah, it's so good.
So that's what I'm putting as our
yeah,
official winner.
Yeah, put that one down.
Even though the two of us haven't seen any of it, we're gonna put that as the winner because I've seen people. I'm in the anime community. I've seen people talk about it and not shut up about it. So sure, it's gonna win.
It's good.
So the next category is best ending sequence. I can give you the nominees. I don't know if you want to do this.
I'm not gonna just if I say the shows. I'm not.
Okay, so we have the ending for Attack on Titan, Final Season Part 1.
How's that show?
Demon Train.
It's good. I like it.
Skate the Infinity.
Okay.
Beastars, Shadow's House, and sorry. So I'm a spider. So what?
Okay. So I've not seen any of those.
Attack on Titan is the only one I've really seen, and I would recommend. I would probably vote for it too.
Is
Okay.
this
So I
ending?
actually, yeah. Oh yeah, this is ending. So Sonny Boy got robbed.
Oh yeah. Sonny Boy doesn't have an opening, but Shonen Shoujo, which is that's the Japanese name. I think the English name is Boy Meets Girl. It's just so good. It's and then in the last episode when they did the acoustic version,
Oof. So good.
I saw today on the Sunny Boy subreddit that somebody was like, "Hey, does anyone have like a full version of the acoustic version? Because it's just not available anywhere." And then somebody else posted like, "For people looking for this, because I know people have been asking about it this past couple weeks, I found this video that it's about like the recording of the song or behind the scenes, and if you watch from this time slot to this time slot, you'll get a full version of the acoustic version of the song. If somebody wants to do the editing work, you can." And then he immediately had an edit that was like, "Somebody pointed me to an edited version of it already. Here it is."
Somebody did the edit, and I definitely watched it today.
Awesome. So we're gonna vote Sunny Boy. It's gonna somehow get in a write-in nomination and win it all.
I will say I did listen to all 6 of these. I think the best one was the one from Shadow's House.
Okay, so that'll be our real guess. Shadow's House.
Mm-hmm. The skate one was pretty good too, but I think the Shadow's House one was better.
I should have done research, but instead I worked an extra hour today. So
okay, I did the research.
Thanks, Ben. Okay.
Okay, so for opening, we have the opening for Attack on Titan's final season part 1, Jujutsu Kaisen season 2, Odd Taxi, Beastars, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, and then Tokyo Revengers.
Joe, do you have any thoughts?
Jujutsu Kaisen, I actually really liked theirs.
Okay, all right.
Personally, I liked a lot of things about that anime though. But the other 3 of them, or I've not seen 4 of them. I've only seen Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, and I would say the opening for Jujutsu Kaisen was quite a bit better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
So I listened to all of these as well. Attack on Titan has the worst one.
Yeah, I didn't like Attack on Titan.
Jujutsu Kaisen does have a good opening. I do like that opening. But Odd Taxi I do like better because it's a lot more lo-fi, low-key. Mm-hmm. It's just very groovy.
Yeah.
And anytime you throw a saxophone part into a song, I'm going to vote for
it. Yeah, I was going to say, like, I remember Odd Taxi's opening being pretty spot on. So even though I haven't listened to the others, I don't feel bad voting for Odd Taxi.
No, I think Odd Taxi is the best. But again, I like more of that lo-fi.
Well, from this podcast, I'm going to watch Odd Taxi after this.
No, watch Sunny Boy.
Watch the opening because it just has a great sax. You throw in a great sax part, I'm going to vote for it.
Okay. But no, yeah, Odd Taxi, if you come away from this and you're like, okay, fine, I'll watch Odd Taxi because you're going to refuse to watch Sunny Boy because we're pushing it way too hard. But it's a very solid show, so I won't be too mad about that.
So your next categories are your voice performances. Did you want to go through those? I didn't see any of these dubbed ones.
Yeah, I didn't see any of these dubbed. I have no comment.
Right,
which ones are there?
There's Finna.
Yep, we watched the sub of that.
Yeah, there's Jujutsu Kaisen, Skate the Infinity, Fruits Basket, Another Skate the Affinity, and Wonder Egg Priority. Laura Bailey's nominated, so I'm voting for her.
Yep, Laura Bailey. Gotta love me some Laura Bailey.
She's Fruits Basket. So.
Yeah, she's Toru Honda, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know Laura Bailey at all as the voice actress?
Not by name. Maybe by some of her work.
So she is probably most famously, well, maybe not most famously, but she is Lust in Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, well, yeah, I know.
I think she also voices Kid Trunks in Dragon Ball Z, and maybe also Bulma sometimes.
Hmm.
She is very prolific. She's on the Critical Role, the D&D show that I like.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay, so yeah, she's Kid Trunks in the Funimation dub of Dragon Ball Z. She's Lust and Full Metal. She's Maka in Soul Eater. I'm just trying to pull out some highlights here. She's Keiko in Yu Yu Hakusho. I forgot about that. Let's see. I'm trying to think of things. Have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho, Joe?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah,
Dubbed and subbed, actually.
Ooh.
She's
Because
Schrodinger in Hellsing Ultimate.
I think you guys watched the dubbed and convinced me that it was really good. I'd watched the dub some as a kid, and then I think I watched it all as subbed when I got a little older, and then went to college, and you guys showed me that the dub was actually really good.
Well, one of our college friends was like, it was his favorite show.
Yeah.
It was Palco's favorite show.
Yeah.
Slightly edged over One Piece for him, which tells you why we haven't reached out to him to see if he wants to be in the show. Nothing against Palco. It's just I can't watch One Piece. Are you kidding me? They have 1,000 episodes out now. I can't do it.
Okay, so next category is for Japanese voice performance. You have somebody from Attack on Titan season 1, the Gabby Braun. You have Lupin the Third Part 6 for Daisuke Jigen.
Oh, okay. Jigen. This is probably the same guy who's voiced Jigen in every sub. So I'm giving it to him.
Kiyoshi Kabayashi, so probably. I don't know. There's Aoi Yuki for So What I'm a Spider, for I'm assuming the spider character.
I'm assuming it's for the spider.
Performance for Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. You have Otakawa from Odd Taxi, Natsuki.
Oh, that's
Hane.
right. Otakawa's in
And,
this one. He does a great job.
There's Aoi Oto from Wonder Egg Priority. My vote goes to Otakawa because that's the only one I've seen, and it is a really good performance.
I don't know. It's a tough. Jigen is like such a classic character that, like, you know, that voice has been refined for like 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really say for sure. I guess I would give it to Otakawa because I actually know for sure that performance was very solid. It's like a very like subdued performance, which I think anime is so easily over the top. Joe, you'll see in the chat for the call here, I put an Odd Taxi gift. Otakawa is the walrus man sitting on the bench there. And his alpaca friend is showing him her capoeira, which is a very, very strange part of the show because they like changed the soundtrack in the background to be like Brazilian dance music for it.
Really?
And it's just like that came out of nowhere and lasted for like 5 seconds just as she was doing the thing. So yeah, I guess Otakawa, whatever. I didn't write any of these down. I was looking at Laura Bailey. No, I did. I didn't write down the English voice actor. Who did we give that to?
We gave it to Laura Bailey.
Oh, that was actors and actresses?
Yeah.
Okay. I put actress, but I'll just say voice English instead.
And then we're giving it to Otakawa, who is Natsuki Hane.
Japan voice. Natsuki.
Okay, so your next category is for best score. You have the score for 86 for Megalobox 2 Nomad, Vivi Fluorite Ice Song, Demon Slayer, Odd Taxi, and Wonder Egg Priority. I don't know exactly what they constitute as score. So I'm not exactly sure how to vote on this.
Do you do insert songs count as score?
Yeah.
Um,
Also, I don't pay attention to like the score usually.
I was
The only
texting
time I
Joe
kind
about this. Joe,
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
have any thoughts?
Um, I mean, I've only, experienced two of these, and I think I liked 86 the more. But yeah, that'd be hard to say. Uh, but I haven't looked at any of these scores directly, so I would say I don't have a very educated guess or opinion.
Yeah, I texted Joe about this because we were talking about scores and soundtracks and stuff, and I spoke for you, Ben, but mostly for me, saying like we both don't really pay that much attention to the score. If it's doing its job right, I don't notice it because it's just all a part of the atmosphere. And I really only notice stuff when they have insert songs where it's like, oh, somebody is singing. Therefore, I know the soundtrack is playing. Whereas everything else just kind of like melds into everything else that's going on. That being said, Sonny Boy got Sonny Boy got ignored again. That has a phenomenal score that I've listened to all of on YouTube, and it's great. And I will count insert songs as part of the score. So, I guess my real vote would be for Vivi because I heard you watching some of it while I was at work today.
Yeah, it does have some really good music to it. Again, I just don't know exactly what counts as the score, and I wasn't paying too much attention to it. But it does have some really good music, so I'd probably give it to Vivi.
Yep. So real answer is Sonny Boy. Actual answer is Vivi for me. Because, god dang it, that score on Sonny Boy is beautiful. There's a reason I'm contemplating buying the first half of the soundtrack for $83.
Oh my gosh.
Because it's only available in Japan, so you get that international shipping added to the cost of vinyl records. So,
Next category is Best Character Design. You have Jujutsu Kaisen, Ranking of Kings, Vivi, Fluorite's Eyes Song, Odd Taxi, Skate the Infinity, and Wandering Priority.
okay. So I actually voted for Ranking of Kings on this before having seen the show because I had seen enough of like clips and artwork of it on Reddit that I'm like, give it props. That's some solid character design. And I've seen the character designs on like Jujutsu Kaisen and Skate the Infinity, and it's like those are like nice, crisp, and clean, but they just don't feel very like they feel generic. Like you're cutting edge, which means you look like everything else that's cutting edge, and not nice and warm like Odd Taxi or its Ranking of Kings looks. So I voted Ranking of Kings on this.
Yeah, I guess what I look for in animation is kind of not mainstream isn't the right word, but something with a little bit more character to it, where it's like you can notice the art style rather than kind of your generic. Oh, this looks like a regular anime. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Maybe that's not being fair to like the leading technologies because I mean a character design is not the same as art style, I guess. So
that's true.
Because like Sunny Boy's character design is very generic, but I love its art style. So, but it's just like slightly deviates from the norm, or has like certain scenes that are like really beautiful, but that's not the character design. So, Joe, your thoughts on what you've seen of these shows?
Just from, I don't know. I'm one of those guys that I like look at different art and like I like the most realistic art. So like usually the stuff that's like the most crisp or I feel like the most refined is usually. And if I'm linking it direct like best character designs, is that just the way they look? Like if I'm just saying these characters look the best then, right?
I guess. I mean, you could probably interpret it ways, but what is best is that
Right, yeah.
The
Yeah, I
most
know.
technically well done? Is that the coolest looking? Is that the most like just gives you that, like, because Ranking of Kings just gives me like a, this is not the most good looking thing. Like, these characters are a little like dumpy at points, and
Mhm.
there's one character when you're looking at her side, when you're looking at her profile, it looks like she has one boob. I was like, I know she's got two, but just the way she's drawn, it really looks like it's just that far one. Like, I can't see the distinction. So it's like, that's a quirk that, I think all those little, you're gonna run into quirks when you have like an atypical character, there's atypical art style. But I think those quirks can lend to interesting characters at times too. So that's kind of why I gave it to Ranking of Kings, because I thought this is kind of like, it's quirky and things kind of look like intentionally, older school, but it still has a nice clean animation when you're actually watching it. It's got an older look to it without an older feel to it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but
Yeah, I don't know. I would have to watch, I think, the other anime to really give a good comparison because I've only seen one of these six. So,
well, and I've only seen two, but like I have like there are, when you say Skate the Infinity, like I kind of remember when that was coming out and like seeing some character designs and it being
mhm,
like, I think it was a little like flashy, but underneath the flash was like, oh, this is still just like cutting edge animation, and it's just, which
mhm.
I guess again, it's characters. I'm getting like art style and character design twisted about in my head because they are related, but I think I gave it to Ranking of Kings even before seeing it, just being like, no, this is good. They did a good job with this. So
Yeah, I think I'll give my vote to Ranking of Kings.
we're gonna like watch the awards, and it's just gonna be like, it's gonna be like Joe is right about everything, because like what is it you said, Joe? You're like, I'm
A meta slave.
yeah, I'm a meta slave. So
I am.
Okay,
Uh,
so your next category is Best Animation.
okay.
So this we have Demon Slayer, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, Vivi Fluorite Eye Song, Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, and then Wonder Egg Priority.
Mushoku Tensei, it's got some really beautiful scenes. Um, I cannot.
yeah, you mentioned that. You said that it's really good looking. I've seen some clips past the first couple episodes I watched, and I do agree it does look good.
Kind of the thing with Vivi too is that it's very good looking. It's
Mm.
I don't know. That's the only one I've seen of these.
I would
I guess I've
say
seen Johnny watch Mushoku Tensei. It does look good, but I feel like from what I've seen, I didn't see any of the like money shots per se. Nothing to like, oh, okay, this animation's great. None of those.
uh, fellow anime YouTuber, if you can call us fellows, if you can call us YouTubers, um, but fellow anime YouTuber Gigic has a really good video that showcases some of the beautifulness of that show, because he was a big fan of that show. I think that he put that as his number one on his list, but it was for this year, and he put Sonny Boy at number 10. Come on.
Hey, Sunny Man made the list though.
Yeah, it was, and it was doing his top 15, and it was number 10. But like, I was just like so disappointed. He's just like, I can tell I'm gonna watch this again as the years go by, and like this is gonna be the cult classic. People are gonna be like, oh yeah, that one was overlooked, and it's really good. I'm like, I don't want it to be a cult classic. Everybody should watch it right now. It's so weird. I love it, and atmospheric. Let's see. So, but like I know like Jujutsu Kaisen has been praised for its animation as well. So like if we're looking at technical stuff, Mushoku Tensei and Jujutsu Kaisen are probably very
said I did watch the opening for that show. It does look really good. Just
Yeah, I
opening
just think
itself just looks
Jujitsu just
fantastic.
looks so good, and I love the ending song for it. The animation for that is also like really good. Like I just thought it was really like artistic and of good design. So I don't know. I'm a big fan, but see, I don't want to like list it for everything because like I think like that all melds into like I don't know who makes that choice because I know like we still have like a best directors and other things. So I don't know. Like I thought the animation in it was so good, but I think like Demon Slayer I think has really good animation too, like just naturally. And I like how in the show it like flips with the animation. Like sometimes like there are these cute little chibi things to be like comical. So I don't know. Maybe I'd put best animation. I'd maybe pick Demon Slayer for this one.
So if you had to compare Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, you would say Demon Slayer.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I think I would be voting because yeah, I think with like the theme of the world, like that it's dark and everything. Um, but like even though it's dark, like and I like how the like techniques and things are flashy though because it adds in different elements. I don't know. There's just a lot of animation that I think is very um, key that I like in uh, Demon Slayer. So yeah, I'll vote for Demon Slayer on this one.
Okay. What was the other one we were just talking about? My memory is being absolute garbage right
Jujutsu
now.
Kaisen.
No. The other one that we were talking about before we talked
The
about the
jobless reincarnation.
jobless reincarnation. So if
Oh
I had
boy.
to pick between the two of those, if you're saying Demon Slayer and Jujutsu Kaisen, Demon Slayer wins out. I've seen the first season of Demon Slayer. I'm assuming it's the same but better for season 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what
Then I would probably go with Jobless Reincarnation is technically better. Because I'm just comparing what I've seen of Demon Slayer to what I've seen of Jobless Reincarnation, and I'm gonna give it to that because I think it does. I think it's got a lot better money shots than I no knock on Demon Slayer. It's great. So if you're saying that Jujutsu Kaisen does not beat Demon Slayer, I think Mushoku Tensei, in terms of animation, technical animation, and aesthetic beauty, I'm gonna go Mushoku Tensei or Jobless Reincarnation. Ben, what are your thoughts?
I want to go with Joe on this one just because it's ufotable.
Okay. So
I
our
feel like they know what they're
official
doing.
is Demon Slayer.
I'm just going to assume ufotable makes good looking animes. So,
They
yeah.
do. I've seen Garden of Sinners.
all right. So your next category is best director. We have Yuichiro Hayashi for Attack on Titan Final Season Part 1. We have Yo Moriyama for Megalobox 2 Nomad. We have Shingo Natsumi for Sonny Boy.
Hell yeah, we do.
We have Jujutsu Kaisen. Sung Ho Park for Jujutsu Kaisen. We have Baku Kinoshita for Odd Taxi. And then we have Shin Wakabayashi for Wonder Egg Priority.
You already know my vote.
You know my vote. It's
Yeah,
Sonny Boy. Just the
it
way
has to
that
be.
shit.
It has to be Sunny Boy. I'm not even seeing it. I don't know. It sounds like it's so. It sounds like it's so under the radar that it's actually the best thing this year.
Just every shot in that movie or that show, I think, is almost perfect. It has that great blend, I think, of just how he sets up the, I guess, frames. There's just, I don't know. I think it's just beautiful. I think it's beautifully
Do you
directed.
remember? Do you remember the close up of Yamabiko's eye that we get before we ever meet like 2 episodes before we meet Yamabiko? You remember
Yeah.
the detail on that shot?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Yamabiko is a
I
giant
think for
talking
Sunny
dog.
Boy, the knock on it might be it's not the best, like, animated wise, but I just think the shot composition for everything is just so great.
Oh yeah, it's technically not like up there. There's not it's very surreal, and there's some very minimalist shots. But like the scene where they go like diving underwater and they can see like all of the
Mhm.
like the minnows that are lighting up, it's just like, and then they have Sunset Roller Coaster playing in the background, and it's just, this scene is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And it has like nothing to do with the rest of the show. They're just like, we're on this pier.
That's not when that song plays.
It was, I thought it was shortly before or shortly after that.
No, that's when they. That's like the big climax of like episode 6. Is when that plays.
Is that when that one song plays? There's some
Pretty
insert
sure.
song that plays really great. So, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is just watch that scene on YouTube after we're finished here.
Mm-hmm. Or just watch the whole show again.
I could do that. I have seen the show twice in the past year, so it's gonna give it a little bit more time before watching it a third time.
We're gonna overhype this so much for Joe, and he's just gonna be like, "Yeah, it's good,"
Joe's gonna be like, "I didn't really get it,"
which is fine.
That's because I'm a simpleton.
You're not a simpleton, Joe. You said earlier you're like a meta slave, but that takes a level of sophistication to do. You know, like keeping up with the meta, like just like when we were playing like Pokemon, you're like, yeah, I know, like this is what works well, and it's just a matter of like, okay, that takes a certain type of brain, and a different type of brain, you know, likes weird stuff like me and Ben. You're also the most well-educated guest we've ever had on. You have a master's degree. Our other guests have our next highest educated guest is Ben Feldick, and he has a bachelor's, like Shabs and I have. And then our other two guests have high school diplomas. So, nothing against not going to college and going to high school. It's just they had responsibilities and joined the workforce. And or didn't know what they wanted to do with college, so they are not wasting the money, which is smart in its own way. So yeah. I guess I don't want to demean Brock and Rowie, but you can't say that you're a simpleton when you are the most educated person we've ever had on this show. So
I appreciate it.
It's like you have a biology degree, a master's in biology, and teach at, I mean, it was a community college, but you taught at a college. I don't think you're allowed to claim you're a simpleton.
You can be a simpleton for anime taste.
Right, yeah.
Okay, Ben's saying you can be a simpleton. I take everything I just said back.
Wait, what does that mean?
I have to agree with my co-host here.
We're like parents. We have to have a united front in front of our guests. So,
oh, okay.
Joe's our child. We can't be seen arguing in front of him.
We need to have that camaraderie with special guests. Like, all of our other guests know that we hate each other. But we can't have Joe know that.
I think Joe knows that we hate each other.
You guys always seem great when I'm around.
Well, that's because somebody else is around.
That's because we want to impress you.
It's because you don't play Magic with us very often.
And bacon, it's great.
And we have to make you pancakes and bacon every time you come visit. It's a rule. So
it's a bribe.
Look, you get to come hang out with us. We'll make you pancakes and bacon, and we'll play Digimon the card game with you. I'll play Digimon the card game with you. Which reminds me, I have Tabletop Simulator. I need to get my Digimon decks set up in there so we can play long distance.
That's true. We do need to do that.
I might have convinced somebody to play it with me locally because I was showing him all my Digimon cards the last time we were playing board games. And then I got COVID, like so
6 categories. So I'm just gonna breeze through some of these.
Okay. Well, the next one's easy. So.
Oh, sorry. So for best director, it's Sonny Boy. Did you have a pick, Joe?
Sonny Boy. I've not even seen it. I agree. I take your guys' opinion.
Just being bullied over here.
Okay, so best fight scene we have Attack on Titan final season, Eren versus Warhammer Titan. We have Jujutsu Kaisen, Yuji versus and Ao versus Hanami. We have Mr. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, Elma versus Toru. We have Boruto, Naruto versus Ishiki. We have Jujutsu Kaisen Yuji and Nabara versus Iso and Kechizu. And then we have Vivi versus Yugo. I've only seen one of these fight scenes. That was the Vivi one. It was good. It looked really good. I feel like it was a little short. So I don't know if I could give it to it.
We are deferring to Joe on this one. Best fight.
Yes.
Okay, I mean, in my opinion, it would be crazy if it's not Jujutsu Kaisen and it's the Yuji and Toto versus Hanman or Hamani.
Hanami. Okay.
Hamami. Yeah, I think that was. I've rewatched that. I don't rewatch a ton of like fight scenes, but that one I have rewatched multiple times this year. It is beautiful.
So you
I love
said
everything about it.
that was Yugi
Yuji and
Moto
Toto.
and the band Toto versus Ham on Rye. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Perfect. But yeah,
Okay.
I think that one definitely deserves it. Takes the cake.
All right. So now we have Best Antagonists. We have Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. We have Yano from Odd Taxi. We have Ainosuke from Skate the Infinity. We have Tomura from My Hero Academia Season 5. We have Echidna from ReZero Season 2. Then we have Teta Kisaki from Tokyo Revengers.
I gotta give it to Echidna from ReZero Season 2, if only because she's a beautiful witch woman. That I think might, like, when you find her garden, which is like hard to get to, and she serves you tea, she's like, oh yeah, I mean, this place is isolated, so nothing comes in or out, so everything here is like something that was made from me. So that I'm fairly for sure it was implied that tea was her pee. But I'm like, I'll simp for you, Echidna. I'll do it. Also, is it true that like there's like a switch in the final season? Eren Yeager's the bad guy. He's the antagonist. I guess bad guy and antagonist aren't the same thing.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go skip ahead a little. For Best Protagonist, he is also nominated for it.
Okay.
So something happens in that show. He's nominated for both antagonist and protagonist. But I didn't watch the show, so I don't know.
Antagonist doesn't mean bad guy, and protagonist doesn't mean good guy.
I know.
So, like, either part of the show follows Eren's perspective, and therefore he can be considered the protagonist. You know, enough of it follows his perspective that it's considered his story, and enough of it follows somebody else's perspective where they can be considered the main character, and Eren is against them in some way. So, doesn't mean good guy or bad guy. Antagonist just means against the main character, and protagonist just means the main character, for the most part. So, I don't know. Joe, what are your thoughts?
I like him better as an antagonist, but I do think he's a really good antagonist. But I think that my favorite from this year was My Hero Academia's.
Really? I thought,
yeah.
From what I remember of My Hero, it feels like he was like barely in the last half. And it's just, I don't know. He seems like an overall fairly bad antagonist, but I feel like he's getting a bump up because he was such a bad antagonist in other seasons. But
yes,
maybe...
I agree. I do think, but the last season that aired this year had like the second half of it was just all about him, like in his backstory, and
That's
I just
true.
think they did a really good job of like fleshing him out, specifically like this year.
Yeah, I was thinking he wasn't in the first half of that. I'm getting it confused. He wasn't very much in the first half, but like none of the League of Villains was really that much in it.
Yeah, that is true.
And then the back half, we got a lot of his backstory, but like he was also just like he was being experimented on and only like really did stuff in the last couple of episodes. Everything else was like flashback, but maybe that's just me not liking flashbacks in shows that much. Like no, I want to see what's going on right now. Don't give me like I watched the re-release or not the re-release, but the reboot of Shaman King, and it's just like there's like 6 episodes where it's a flashback arc, and I'm like, I don't care. Sure, yeah, he fought a demon when he was a kid and he didn't know what he was doing. Whatever. Go back to the current story. I need to know what's gonna happen next. The show's not that good where I'm gonna want to watch a 6-episode flashback arc. So I mean, I'll defer. If we're gonna go antagonist, we can go My Hero. It's the only My Hero nomination, if I remember correctly. So it'll probably get some support from its fan base. So
I'm gonna go with whatever you guys say, but the only one I've seen was Yano. I don't like Yano from Odd Taxi, so I'm not.
Yeah,
really
Yano was not the more compelling. Dobu was the more compelling antagonist in Odd Taxi. But again, it goes into that good guy, bad guy thing. There was enough of Dobu that he could be considered, not really an antagonist, even though he was a bad guy. So, but Yano was not. I don't like Yano.
I will say though, based on these pictures, the Skate the Infinity guy looks really cool. He's like kind of looks like Kamina, but he has like a really cool like mask on.
Okay, all right. I'm imagining like a Gundam, the guy who always wears a mask in Gundam type of mask.
It's like the one that just basically covers. It's like a masquerade mask.
Yeah, that's what
like
I'm imagining.
White, yeah.
But on
It looks pretty cool.
Okay, all right. That's the
we
skateboarding
can...
gay anime. Is that right?
No, just skateboarding.
No, I thought it was like there were like it legitimately had homosexual characters in it, which I'm not.
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm not saying is a bad thing. I just think it was really big in the gay community. So
it's a show about skateboards. I thought.
I think there might be a boys' love aspect to it. Is all I'm saying.
All right, so
I may be completely wrong, and if so, I'm sorry, but I'm just. I don't know why I need to bring it up. We should stop talking about it. It's not a big deal.
Right. We can go with the My Hero guy.
That's what we're going
Tomura.
with.
Shigaraki.
Protagonist is next?
Yep. We have Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan.
I do not think he is a good protagonist. Oh, sorry.
That's fine. We have Joe from Megalobox 2 Nomad. We have Boji from Ranking of Kings.
Hell yeah.
We have Yuji Itadori from Jujutsu Kaisen. Otakawa from Odd Taxi. And we have Ai Oto from Wonder Egg Priority.
I'm trying to see if I can find a GIF. Here, Joe. I've just put a GIF in the chat of how cool Boji is. So you need to check it out.
Whoa.
So he is the son of 2 giants, but he is like
cursed.
He's cursed, so he doesn't have any strength. So like he's also deaf and can't talk. Like he just goes like he just speaks in like baby babble. And only one character like really knows what he's talking about. But he has honed his other senses and his agility so much that he just like cannot be hit because he's so good at dodging. But he can't like do any damage to people at the start of the show. Until he gets a needlepoint rapier that he uses as his weapon, and he fights people by like hitting their like their vital spots or their not vital spots per se, because he doesn't want to kill people, but their like their nerves. Like he'll hit like a pinched nerve or something and knock somebody out. And it's just I love the little guy. He's so fun. So that's my pitch for Boji.
I liked the protagonist from Jujutsu Kaisen, which I mean it's ranked pretty high as my favorites, so I would vote for him for this year. I thought he was good. I didn't like Eren in the viewpoint of a protagonist. I think he is better as an antagonist personally.
There you go, Joe.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. I sadly haven't watched the other 4. I'll be watching the Ranking King. I actually pulled it up in my Crunchyroll to start watching it. So
it's I mean, part 2 is currently airing, so like it just had an episode release last night. So
Yeah, maybe I'll come back to this podcast and be like, "Wow, my decision was
We'll,
so
we'll
bad. I
have
didn't
when
know how
Ranking
bad
of
the
Kings is
really,
done, we'll have you
yeah,
on the Ranking of Kings episode. So
yeah."
um,
I feel like I didn't realize how good this was.
this is the GIF I put in the chat for people wondering. It's where the Boji faces off against the captain of the Underworld Knights. Like he's testing his agility and he's just like crazy dodging the spear so much. That's probably the scene that got me interested in watching this because I saw this clip on Reddit and somebody put it like when you put all your stats into agility. um, so yeah,
I have Otakawa as the better protagonist than Boji.
you like okay.
Mm-hmm.
Otakawa's an everyman, so
Yeah,
just like the fact that he unravels the mystery just is because he's in the right place at the right time, and people don't think too much
I guess
about talking.
I feel like the problem with Boji is that he's not like vital to the story per se as of now. He's kind of just like doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's off like training when like the actual
Yeah.
like intrigue and stuff is going on in the country. So
like, caught up he is now, but like I feel like a lot of the show he wasn't technically like a protagonist. Like he was the main character, but everything happening he wasn't a part of it.
He wasn't wrapped up in the plot, the scheme that was going on at the castle. So
I think that's why I ranked Otakawa a little higher.
Okay. I'm giving it to Boji. Joe's giving it to Jujutsu Kaisen. Shabs is giving it to Otakawa. So we're gonna go with the meta here, and we're gonna say that's the Jujutsu Kaisen guy that's gonna.
Yeah, if we have to pick a winner, I'm gonna pick the Jujutsu Kaisen guy.
Okay.
So after that, now we get into the good ones. We have Best Girl.
Ooh, here we go.
We have Vladilena from 86. Nobara Kugisaki from Jujutsu Kaisen. We have Shoko Komi from Komi Can't Communicate. Toru Honda from Fruits Basket. We have Sarasa Watanabe from Kajeki Shoujo. And we have Ai Oto from Wonder Egg Priority.
Are you giving it to the Kajeki Shoujo girl, Ben?
It's technically the only one I've seen, except for 86, but I think she's better than Lena. So that's who I'd give it to. Okay. I've only seen 2 or 3 episodes of Shoko Komi, and I feel like she's kind of the favorite. But like her mom's better than her, so I can't give it to her.
Joe, do you know about me and Ben's like anime best girl fetish recently developed in the past couple years?
No.
When a character has, I don't know if it's right now we've been playing it as just short hair in general is best, but I think I might refine it to when a girl with longer hair gets a haircut and has short hair. It's like, yes. I know your anime hair fetish. It's ponytails. I'm aware.
It is. You are right.
But Ben and I are just like
Kajeki Shoujo girl has pigtails. I don't know how that works, but I'm just saying. I don't know how that relates.
I don't think that's the same as a ponytail.
Okay.
I don't know, Joe. It's your fetish.
They usually are relatable, but there can be some good ponytails out there, I guess, or pigtails.
I guess the good thing about like the Sarasa Watanabe is that she's tall, so she's like at least 6 foot, I think. They do like centimeters, but like she's really tall, so it's like, oh, she's a giant. Cool.
She's from T-Town, our hometown.
Yeah, she's from T-Town.
We might be related to her, so in Japan that's a turn on, I guess. But yeah, no, the reason we say that Komi's mom is better than Komi from Komi-san Can't Communicate is because she's got the short hair. She looks just like Komi, but she has short hair instead. So therefore, is much better.
She's better.
And she's silly. I'm gonna give it to Komi, I guess, and I think that's probably what the meta is going towards too, if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's who I think they would pick as a winner.
I would imagine. I agree with that statement.
But who do you like best, Joe? Not what is the meta. I know we just said you're meta incarnate or whatever, but
I would have to say I like the girl from 86.
Okay.
she'd be, if I had to pick a girl from this list, that's who I would be choosing.
So
She's
she's
just the only,
fine.
she'd be better. I'm really hoping before the season ends, she has a ponytail would be pretty good. And for her
Ooh.
not to always be in officer uniform, I would like some different costumes for her.
I think she's definitely like, if I'm just going aesthetics, I think I probably like that aesthetic of her character better. But that stuff works, better. We were talking before about like stylistic versus like cutting edge. Like that style of animation just works better as far as like making beautiful
Yeah.
beautiful female characters. So like I'm not gonna pick Queen Hilling from Ranking of Kings. It's like sometimes it looks like she has one boob, and she looks kind of like she does look.
But she
kinda
looks
like
just like Pearl.
she does. See if I can throw a.
Like, I swear that would have been your best girl for Johnny, just because she looks like Pearl from Steven Universe.
I just threw a gif of her face in the chat with like Spanish subtitles or something. So that's what she looks like, Joe. That's that's Prince Boji's stepmom.
And she's a stepmom.
Yeah. And like they do the thing with her character where like when she's first introduced, you kind of think like, ah yes, bitch stepmom that wants like her son, the second prince to take the throne instead of Boji. But then as you like dive into her character, it's like, no, she really loves Boji like a son, but she like also doesn't see how like truly competent he is because it's this little boy that loves hugs and can't hear or talk. So
And it's like 2 feet tall.
it's like 2 feet tall. So she's like, he can't bear the weight of being a ruler. Like, so it's better if if my son takes over. And her attitude towards her son of like, like you have to be there for your big brother because you are like a quote unquote whole person. And that sort of like, the brother too that you can see is like they don't really get along that well. It's like, no, it came from a place of like, you need to be better than him so that you can protect him, sort of thing. And that's hard to put on a younger brother. So like of course like a superior attitude sort of form. He's a kid in a weird situation. Whatever. I'm talking a lot about Ranking of Kings. And they're not on the best girl list. So we're gonna vote. We're gonna say our prediction is Comey, but
Yes.
I think I agree with you that of that list, Ladalina, the 86 girl, looks the best. Is the one I am most attracted to. Are we going best boy now?
Yeah.
Best boy. We
Raiden
have-
Yamabiko, the big talking giant black dog from Sonny Boy.
I was going to do the nominations first before bringing that up.
I don't care. That's my Raiden.
Okay. Yamabiko's best boy.
Yes, he is. He's
No
a good boy.
contest.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so the real nominations are Sinkyu Ishigami from Dr. Stone, Odokawa from Odd Taxi. We have Ken Ryuguchi from Tokyo Revengers, Izumi Miyamura from Horimiya, Boji from Ranking of Kings, and Manjiro Sano from Tokyo Revengers.
I was looking at Sonny Boy gifs. I didn't catch any of that.
We have Sinkyu from Dr. Stone,
Okay,
main character.
that's the Dr. Stone guy, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Odokawa from Odd Taxi. We
Okay.
have Ken Ryuguchi from Tokyo Revengers, Izumi from Horimiya, Boji from Ranking of Kings, and Manjiro Sano from Tokyo Revengers.
I didn't really like the Horimiya guy. I watched Horimiya. He was fine. He's just kind of like, other than the fact that he secretly has a bunch of piercings and tattoos that are just like you don't see in the school uniform. I wasn't really like impressed with him. He was kind of blah to me. Boji is my little boy, and Odokawa is he's great. He's like our friend Brock, but slightly more likable. Slightly more mature.
We relate to Odokawa because we're both walruses.
Yeah.
And by heart.
So wait, is there an age like thing? Is this walrus young? Because it kind of looks like an old
No, he's like
walrus.
41.
No, he's old.
Oh,
Yeah, he's at least 30s. I think it might be older, but
I think he's 41 is what the show said.
okay. No, yeah, he's an older man. So it should be best man.
Okay.
that's why I was just curious if it was like a if it was a younger thing, but then the walrus looked a little older. So
I just I found a gif of Yamabiko, so you can see how good of a boy he is.
actually, that's so funny that this would be a great write-in because yeah,
Because you have the
Alright,
good
okay.
boy bit too.
Yeah,
like,
good boy.
he's
Yeah,
not he's
the
not just a
bit,
good
yeah,
boy, he's the best boy.
yeah, he's a good boy. Yeah.
And he was a human that turned into a dog. It's complicated. You'll have to watch the show, and even then, kind of be questioning like, wait, how did it happen? But
Well,
like
then it's even more fitting.
he talks with like this super deep voice it's like one of like it's a very big Japanese voice acting name. So when he speaks, it's just like you can just tell it's like this old man, like fit, like not old man like, oh, I'm an old man. It's just like this guy's lived through some shit. It just has like this deep voice that's just very like wise sounding.
It's like a Japanese Keith David.
Yeah, Japanese Keith David. There you go.
All right, so my vote is Boji.
Yeah,
I didn't
if
vote
I had to
for
pick
protagonist, but I think best boy it's Boji because he's awesome. He's great. I love Boji.
I like when he befriends the giant like demon ogre guy.
Yeah.
I hope you guys are right, but I think I'm gonna go with Sinku or yeah, Sinku, is that how you say it? From Dr. Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that would be my choice.
Just looking at this picture, he looks really smug, and I don't like smug.
No, he's pretty smug. That's pretty accurate.
All right, I don't like him.
What is I've heard of Dr. Stone. It's just like people were turned to stone, and now like the nuclear fallout has faded, so he's like waking people up, and they have to build technology from nothing again. Is that?
Yeah, pretty much the premise.
Okay. It seems sort of like educational, and I'm like, I don't really care that much.
It kind of is. I kind of like it. It's,
Well, aren't you a biology major?
yeah. For a
So it's
biology
like-
major, he does talk about like science, and then he even like talks about how like these things were invented, and so it's pretty neat. It's a cool premise. I like the show,
Yeah,
I like him as like as a character. So
I don't know why I never checked it. Like, I don't have anything against like learning cool science thing. It's just I don't know. When it came out, I wasn't that drawn to it. So I might have to give it a chance at some point.
yeah, he is a little on the arrogant side, so Ben really might not like him as a main character because he is a little smug.
I mean, Lad Russo is a big smug though too. So
But yeah,
That is true. I don't know if he's smug. He's just psychotic.
he's cocky.
Yeah.
You can't look at Lad Russo and say that man
now
is
I
not
want to go
cocky.
watch that show. Darn it, guys! I'm gonna go buy it.
Go to your local library, Joe. Bring a piece of mail so that you can get signed up for free, and then ask to order in the DVDs for Bacchanal. and then or just buy it and watch like a nice like Blu-ray of it or something. Okay.
Isn't that Blu-ray like $200?
Yeah, that's why I'm telling
Yeah.
Joe to buy it. So we have an excuse to go visit him.
Okay.
All
All right.
right.
So we're at our last category, Anime of the Year. Nominees are 86, Jujutsu Kaisen, Season 2, Ranking of Kings, Attack on Titan, Final Season, Part 1, Odd Taxi, and Sonny Boy.
Any other year, I'd have given it to either Odd Taxi or Ranking of Kings. Both two very solid, very good shows. Ranking of Kings obviously still airing, so who knows how I'll feel at the end of it. But Odd Taxi, great ride all the way around. Ranking of Kings, very fun. It itches that like, oh, he's doing it. There's a training arc going on right now. Like it's hitting those points while also being just like a solid political scheme drama thing with a little bit of fantasy elements here and there, and gray characters. But I gotta, obviously, if it's not obvious by now, I'm giving it to the underdog, Sonny Boy.
Now I have a question: is Sonny Boy, Odd Taxi, and Ranking of Kings all completed? Like, are they one season or like all done this year?
So Odd Taxi is done, but there is going to be a movie. I do not know, like it's there's about enough material for a movie left, I would say, but I don't know where they're planning on doing anything with it. You can watch Odd Taxi, and I say there's a cliffhanger, but it's not like a big thing. You're just like, oh shit, something. I want to know what's going to happen.
Resolved.
I want to know what's going to happen in the next like 20 minutes, and like after that, everything should be resolved.
Okay. What about Sonny Boy and Ranking Kings?
Sonny Boy is completely finished.
Okay. And it's all confined within it this year, right?
All confined within this year. It's what, 12 episodes, 13 episodes?
Yeah, I think so. 12 episodes.
And then Ranking of Kings.
Ranking of Kings is currently airing part 2, and it's at about 16 episodes. I think it's going to be about 24 episodes.
Has part 2 influenced any of your decisions?
I would say
in your choices today.
I would say no, because a lot of like the Boji scene that I put up on the chat was from like from part 1. It's only been the last like 4 episodes. I mean, it's like the problem is part 1. It's not like here's a definitive ending to part 1. Mm-hmm. Like here's a clear ending spot. It's just like, okay, now we're continuing on to part 2. So like. Mm-hmm. I think they like aired part 2 immediately after part 1. So I can't really say, I can't really separate them very easily in my brain. Mm-hmm. But I would say I was on board with this show as of like episode 4. Or I was probably on board with it sooner than that. But, it started being like, okay, this is what this show is going to be like before we get to part 2. And part 2 is just continuing on with the same story where like immediately where part 1 left off. So
yeah, I get that. I partially asked because I think I would also be more biased to like Attack on Titan, though I do think like, for example, it was a very good season for them. It's just so hard for me to think about just like this season or like the stuff that aired this year from Attack on Titan, because like some of the stuff that got revealed in this season was from like past seasons, and like without those setup and without those moments, it's so I feel like it's difficult to like just say, oh well, we're just talking about this part or season part 1 of the finale. Like this is even the finale, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of the it's the Marvel Endgame question. It's just there's so much payoff for like so much setup. How would this movie be without all the prior knowledge that I have? And it's hard to say because you're like, well, I know all this stuff because I have I know most of this stuff. I mean, I'd seen every Marvel movie up to Endgame before seeing Endgame, so, but not necessarily everyone saw Ant-Man 2.
Right.
But it's just like I've got all this setup. And it's paying off, and that's what Attack on Titan's final season is probably doing. It's paying off a lot of setup, which you can't fault it for that, but it's also hard to view it in a vacuum. I get you. So you just got to go. When you were watching Attack on Titan this year, did you have a great time with it, or was it sort of like, okay, this is a slog, and I'm watching it because, I just need to know how it ends, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And that's all we can ask you to do. You can't erase your memories and get a completely objective.
Right.
Also, your take is completely worthless because you're going to be outvoted.
I mean,
yeah, because
yes, but I feel like we need to talk about some of this stuff because this is I mean, I guess I was talking about how I couldn't put this on a specific subreddit, but I could probably throw it on the Sonny Boy subreddit and be like, "Hey, we talked about the anime awards on my podcast, and we just kept writing in Sonny Boy. Give it a listen." Because I knew that the episode was going to be me and Ben gushing about Sonny Boy. I knew it was going to happen.
When did you guys watch Sunny Boy this year? Like, was it recent?
Yeah,
That
as it came out.
That was a summer anime, right?
Okay.
I think so.
We watched it as it came out, and we were just like, at the end of a lot of episodes, we're just like, what the hell is that? What did we just watch? I need to think about things for a little bit and try to process what they're talking about. And that was phenomenal. I really recommend watching one episode a week and then waiting a week to watch the next one, because it's just,
or at least a day.
It gives you time to
Don't binge
process.
it.
Because we binged it as well, and it's fine being binged, but like I don't know if it was because it was so recent after we'd seen it, like we're now rewatching it, so we're less like focused. Where it's like, oh yeah, I remember what happens this episode, sort of thing, or if it was the fact that we were binging it, but it was definitely better. I had more enjoyment the first time I watched it, and the first time I watched it was week by week, so it just gave me a lot of time to think about things and to get hyped for when it was coming out again. And then almost every episode I would just turn to Ben after the credits were finished airing, because we would not interrupt the song. It was so good. We would go, what
It was just like cheering. It's like, what just happened, and why am I amazed right now?
It's like if I was in a movie theater, I would have broken out in applause.
That's awesome.
Okay, so I want to try to experiment here. I want to try to equate these shows to Oscar movies.
Okay.
So 86 seems to be like your war movie.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen is your like really good action, maybe not kung fu, but like your really good action movie. Ranking of Kings is your fantasy. I'd say Lord of the Rings, but it's probably not quite that scale. But that type of movie.
No. Ranking of Kings is more like it's the Disney movie of the year.
Oh, like a Pixar?
Yeah, it's the Pixar pick.
Okay. So what would Attack on Titan be then?
Attack on Titan.
Is that just like your?
That's your epic.
No, that's your...
Yeah. Okay. That's like your Marvel Avengers movie.
Yeah, the one people have been watching
that's your
for
blockbuster.
7 years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Attack on Titan is your blockbuster sequel.
Yeah.
And then Odd Taxi is going to be like your David Fincher mystery crime drama.
No, Odd Taxi is a Tarantino movie. We've already talked about that. David Fincher is weirder. David Fincher is weirder than you're thinking. No, I'm not. I'm thinking
they have anamorphic animals. It's a little weird.
Which movie are you talking about right now?
I'm just saying. You said
oh no,
Fincher movies are weirder.
I meant they're more surreal. So
we have anamorphic animals.
I'm getting Fincher confused with somebody too, though. I always do this. Is it David Fincher? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I get him confused with Lynch. David Lynch?
Sonny Boy is your Lynch movie.
Yeah.
That's your surreal, what is going on? Why is this doing what I did?
Oh, for sure.
Or, yeah. That's your Lynch movie.
Yeah, no,
Fincher's a little bit more like mystery.
Did Fincher do Mulholland Drive?
No, I think that's
Lynch.
Fincher did, I believe.
Did he do Gone Girl?
He did Gone Girl. He did. What is the big? I think he did Seven.
Okay.
What's his other big one? He has another big one. I had like 5 movies in my head, and then I lost them.
Yeah, no, I think you're right though. It's like Fincher, or like I said, it's like a Tarantino movie. I think too.
You can see Tarantino, but Tarantino has a lot of, I feel like, a different editing style.
Yeah, Tarantino.
Odd Taxi's a little bit more straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it to you. So, okay, because I think Gone Girl might be the only Fincher movie I've actually seen. So, okay. But okay,
I don't think I've seen any Fincher movies, but I just, you know me, I know a lot about movies.
Yeah, you know a lot about movies without having seen those movies. It's fine, Ben. It's
So,
kind
like,
of
just
how I am
basing
with
on what
shonen
type of
anime.
movies they are, a lot of times they will go with that either Fincher or your war movie. I don't think 86 is honest. Sorry, Joe. I don't think it's that good.
No, I agree. I wouldn't vote for it here. I wouldn't say
So I
86 in
think
the first
because
place.
it's anime, they're either going to go with Odd Taxi or they're going to go with Attack on Titan. Just because of the scale of Attack on Titan, how popular it is.
Yeah, you can't deny popularity, but I think like Odd Taxi might be the would be probably the runner up in my opinion, just because it was very popular,
Hmm.
and very well regarded. But
Also, if they're
it's
anything like the Oscars, they'll go with like this one's a little bit of like low key, I guess. It's not like your popular pick, but
yeah, it's not your box office smash hit. The Oscar
yeah.
winner and the top grossing movie, I don't think are very. They're not very often are they the same movie.
Hmm.
So
So if I were to like,
except of course when the original Suicide Squad movie won an Oscar for best
yes,
makeup.
yeah,
Oscar winning Suicide Squad.
but like I feel like if you're trying to like predict this based on what Oscars do, I think Odd Taxi might be your favorite.
Yeah. But it's not the same Academy choosing.
Yes,
So
that's
uh
why I think they'll probably go more with Attack on Titan.
yeah. If I remember like last year's anime awards, like there was a lot of like the same show kept winning stuff and you're like,
Hmm.
"Really?"
Yeah, it's gonna be a Jujutsu Kaisen this year,
Yeah.
I thought they
in
were
my
last
opinion.
year.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen I think won a lot of stuff last year
Oh, the
because I think season 1 came out 2020, didn't it?
oh, you're right. Yeah, yeah.
I feel like they
See,
wouldn't do it a second time.
I
It's
hope
like why they
not.
don't give actors multiple Oscars in like back-to-back years.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I don't know how it's gonna go, and I may not know how it goes whatsoever because I don't know. I'm probably not gonna watch them live.
No,
I might read an article like 3 weeks later, and be like, "Oh, that's what won." Okay, when it pops up in my suggested feed. So, um,
they're February 9th at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
February 9th.
No, it looks like Demon Slayer won a lot the year before.
Okay,
Promise Neverland won a lot. Um, like two or
Jujutsu
three.
Kaisen won Anime of the Year last year.
but that's not necessarily sweeping the awards though. Like I was trying to
They
remember,
won
but I think you're right.
Antagonists. They won a couple, but three.
Which I mean, that's a lot. Like
Wait, they
that's
won three? What am I looking at? I must have found not the right.
wasn't Demon Slayer 2019?
Oh, maybe this is. I typed in
Demon
20.
Slayer is 2020.
No, Demon Slayer. Okay, I thought it was older than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. There's 20 nominees, so it's Jujutsu Kaisen winning 3 of them is not as many as I thought. I mean, it's still quite a bit, but it's possible for Demon Slayer to have a lot and Jujutsu Kaisen to have a lot. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's really all we had to talk about. So please,
Oh yeah,
watch Ranking of Kings and Sonny Boy, and then when we ultimately have
Sonny
an
Boy was
episode,
my vote.
yeah, I know, but I already wrote it down. Best
I want to
anime,
give
Sonny
shout
Boy.
outs to Ranky of Kings and Taxi. Those are really good, but just
Yeah.
Sonny Boy just hit.
And they
different.
have a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
I mean, a part of me likes that not very many people have seen like Sonny Boy, so I can be like, there's this. The hipster in me is like, there's this cool show I want to show you that people don't like talk about, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
A part of me likes that fact about Sonny Boy, but I also want people to like the things that I like. So, I have a feeling that the hipster in me is more just likes things that the normal people don't like. I think I would be ecstatic if everybody liked the same things that I do. But I don't live that life. I've never been one that everyone likes the same thing that I do, except for when I liked Pokemon as a child, because that was because everyone liked it then. Except for my dad, who was mad that he had to go take me to Pokemon movies. I think in high school, I was at like a soccer match, and my mom was talking to like a friend of ours that was there too, and she said like, "Oh, thanks for going with Johnny to the Harry Potter movie, so I didn't have to take him. You know, I didn't like going to taking him to those movies as a kid." And then my dad was like, "Well, at least you didn't have to take him to Pokemon." It's like, all right, Dad. Um, Ben, I know you saw at least one Harry Potter movie with me in theaters, because is that the only one you've seen before we watched all the Harry Potter movies? Did you only watch 4? I just remember you being obsessed
No,
with the
I think I
Pegasuses.
watched. I think I watched some of them before.
Okay.
I just didn't watch them in theaters.
Can we decide on air what we're gonna try to watch for the next episode? Because we had some ideas. We were either gonna do a movie or we were gonna do your idea. Are we gonna go with your idea? Or we're gonna try to go with your idea, but not promise
I'm gonna give it
anything?
to Joe, see what he thinks.
Joe, should we watch an anime movie for our next episode, or should we finish watching season 1 of Initial D?
Have you guys done a movie yet?
We did a
Our
movie.
last episode
Our
was
last episode before this one.
Oh, then I'll do Initial D.
Okay. It's just we kind of, the only thing is we skipped a normal episode release because I was sick and we didn't want to record and watch things. So this episode here might come out like on Sunday, like a day and a half from now, or a day and 2 hours from now.
Yeah.
And so we have a week to finish, record, we're on like episode like 15 or something, and there's only like 24 episodes in the first season. So, and neither of us have to work tomorrow or Sunday, so we could probably
So I
have
have
it
plans
done.
on Sunday.
You do have plans on Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. But we can still probably get it finished and have it out so that we can have an episode this week and an episode next week.
We can get a watch Saturday and Wednesday and record on Thursday, but
yeah. So I think we could do it, but it's just a matter of we don't have our normal 2 weeks because this guy is going to be coming out as an apology for missing one of our normal fortnights.
also we wanted to get it out before the awards, just in
It's
case
true.
our 3 listeners wondered our opinions on it.
And we have 16 subscribers on YouTube.
Our 16 subscribers.
And Anchor thinks that we have a average audience of 4. Estimated audience says 7 right now. So, you know,
So yeah,
moving
so
up in the
our
world on Anchor, but most of our views come from YouTube because that's what I share out. So
our loyal 3 viewers would want to know our takes on
before it's old
this year's
news,
anime, where we watched 8 of them out of 500.
Excuse me, I think I proved I watched a lot of them.
Wait, is every single one of your videos on your YouTube?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like a video, it's just our background image and us talking over it, but they're all on YouTube.
Oh, but the Tokyo Godfathers discussion, that's gonna be the one I want to listen to. Okay.
Oh, Tokyo Godfathers is a great movie. So, and it's that's
a good episode, I think.
That baby might be the second coming of Jesus in that movie. Just maybe. There's something magical about I think I said in the episode it's the most magical baby since Jesus. So yeah, no. So they're all on YouTube. They're all on our YouTube, I'll transition into the ending here. Our YouTube is Anime Space Territory. There's 2 anime territories on YouTube. We're the one that has a picture of a city background. We release episodes of our podcast on there every other week, and we occasionally stream on Twitch at Demented Goku, and we will, if I remember to, I'll put those Twitch archives up on YouTube. We typically play Chrono Trigger. We're getting real close to the end of that. We will also open up boxes of cards. So far, it's just been Digimon cards, but the new Magic set, Neon Dynasty? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Kamigawa.
Yeah, Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, which is going to be like a cyberpunk ninja samurai neon theme. It's sounds really cool. We're probably going to be getting some boxes of that to open on stream. And then Pokemon Legends Arceus, we streamed me playing my first impressions of that. I've been playing it some off stream, but I might do some solo streams in that because Ben is not as interested in watching me play that as I am in playing it. So, but that's kind of what we do. You can follow us on Twitter at anime_territory. We'll post links to the shows when they release. Typically the shows release at midnight Central Time every other Sunday, but I'll post like a link at like 10 a.m. or 1 p.m. or something whenever I think about it Sunday the day of. But am I missing anything from our wrap up, Ben?
Nope.
Okay. Joe, do you have anything you'd like to say at the end of the show here?
No, other than thank you for having me. This was a lot of fun, and I think you guys give some great recommendations for anime. So I look forward to experiencing some of these.
Yeah. And if you ever want to come back, if you want us to cover a show, just let us know and we'll try to work it in. So
maybe me and Ben can talk about the best waifus in Fate, and
I'm excluded from this discussion.
Well, he plays Fate Grand Order too, which adds a whole nother layer of
okay.
waifus.
It's still Ryder from Fate Zero.
Yeah, it is. It's the same, but I know, but I'm just not sure, John.
Do you still play Fate Grand Order?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I don't play. I like log in every day, but I don't play it a whole lot. I am now, but just because
it fluctuates. Yeah, it just depends on the event or if the character I like is,
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
All right. So thank you for complimenting our taste in anime, Joe. Thank you for being on this show. I'll let you know if we're watching something that I think you might have some experience with. Then I'll try to reach out to you. If you want to watch something or get us to watch something, reach out to us. You live like 5 hours away from us at this point, so it's gonna have to be over Discord. Unless you want to come down again and play some more Digimon. So, but for now, you're leaving the anime territory.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.